For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On the crisp autumn evening of October 12, 2012, 47-year-old oncology social worker Gloria Kim departed a memorial concert at Millennium Park in Chicago, Illinois. She was expected to meet her sister moments later, just outside the venue. But Gloria never arrived. Despite an immediate and extensive citywide investigation involving countless hours of police work and public appeals, her coat check tag and personal bag were found. Yet Gloria Kim herself vanished without a trace from one of Chicago's most iconic and public landmarks. For 7 agonizing years, her devoted family lived with the gnawing uncertainty of her fate, clinging to every sliver of hope and every possible theory. Then, in the summer of 2019, an improbable discovery was made deep within the storm drain system beneath the famed Cloud Gate sculpture: a single, scuffed wedding band. This is the complete investigation into what happened to Gloria Kim. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Now let's continue. In 2012, Gloria Kim led a life defined by quiet dedication and profound empathy. At 47, she was an oncology social worker in Chicago, her days spent navigating the complex emotional landscapes of illness and hope, a role she approached with an unwavering commitment. A widow, Gloria maintained a structured routine, finding solace in her work and the familiar rhythms of city life, often punctuated by cultural events she enjoyed with her family. That autumn evening, Chicago's Millennium Park, a vibrant urban oasis, pulsed with life. Beneath the gleaming curvature of Cloud Gate, tourists and locals alike moved through the plaza, their conversations and laughter echoing against the city skyline. It was within this iconic public space that Gloria had attended a memorial concert, a poignant gathering she had planned to conclude with a meeting. Her sister awaited her at a prearranged spot just outside the park, a simple end to an otherwise ordinary evening. As the designated time passed, Gloria's sister grew increasingly concerned. Minutes stretched into an hour, then 2, with no sign of Gloria and no response to her calls. The initial flicker of worry soon intensified into a profound sense of alarm, prompting a call to the authorities. The unsettling discovery came swiftly. Gloria's handbag and her coat check tag were found abandoned in Millennium Park, resting innocently on a bench near the concert venue. There was no coat, no Gloria, and no explanation for why her personal effects had been left behind. The revelation sent a chilling ripple through the city. A woman had vanished from one of Chicago's most public and celebrated landmarks, leaving behind only the barest fragments of her presence. An urgent, citywide search was immediately launched. Police canvassed the park, its perimeter, and surrounding streets. Missing person flyers bearing Gloria's image appeared on every lamppost, in every storefront window. The community grappled with the mystery, desperate for answers as the initial hours of hope slowly, inexorably, began to fade into a terrifying unknown. Gloria Kim had simply disappeared. The Chicago Police Department mobilized swiftly, assigning Detective Tasha Alvarez to lead the burgeoning missing person investigation. Alvarez, a seasoned investigator known for her meticulous approach and relentless pursuit of facts, faced a perplexing scenario from the outset. Her first priority was to retrace Gloria Kim's last known movements, meticulously interviewing Gloria's distraught sister to gather every possible detail that might illuminate Gloria's state of mind or potential destination. The concert venue within Millennium Park was thoroughly canvassed, staff members questioned, and the bench where Gloria's handbag and coat check tag were discovered was meticulously processed for any overlooked evidence. Investigators meticulously reviewed available security footage from the park's periphery and surrounding streets, a painstaking task that yielded frustratingly little. While Millennium Park was a public space equipped with cameras, the sheer volume of pedestrian traffic and the limitations of the existing surveillance system in 2012 made it difficult to track a single individual definitively through the bustling crowds. There was no clear image of Gloria leaving the park, nor any indication of forced abduction or a struggle. No witnesses came forward to report anything untoward regarding Gloria Kim's presence. The initial efforts, while exhaustive, produced no immediate breakthroughs. The absence of crucial evidence quickly defined the challenge. There was no body, no crime scene in the traditional sense, no discernible motive, and no apparent suspects. Gloria Kim had simply vanished, leaving behind only her personal items as silent, baffling witnesses. Detective Alvarez and her team grappled with a case that offered no solid ground, a void where answers should have been. The park, despite its vibrant and open nature, had swallowed Gloria Kim whole, yielding no clear answers to the questions that plagued her family and the city. As days turned into weeks, the initial urgency of the search began to give way to a growing sense of mystery. Public appeals for information generated numerous tips, but none proved substantial enough to advance the investigation. Theories abounded, fueled by speculation and the unsettling lack of facts, yet the case remained stubbornly cold. Gloria Kim, the dedicated social worker, had performed a disappearing act that defied logic, leaving behind a profound void and an unanswered question that would haunt her family and Detective Alvarez for years to come. The initial frenetic energy of the search for Gloria Kim eventually dissipated, replaced by the crushing weight of time and an absence of progress. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months, and then into years. The vibrant posters bearing Gloria's hopeful face, once plastered across Chicago, faded and peeled before being removed entirely. The relentless media coverage dwindled, supplanted by newer headlines and fresh mysteries, leaving Gloria's disappearance to recede into the city's collective memory, though never truly forgotten by those closest to her. Detective Tasha Alvarez watched with growing frustration as every viable lead was systematically exhausted. Tip lines grew quiet. Interview transcripts offered no hidden clues. Forensic analysis of Gloria's recovered bag and coat check tag yielded no unexpected DNA or fingerprints beyond her own. The intricate web of public and private surveillance footage from the night of her disappearance had been painstakingly reviewed multiple times, each viewing confirming the same disheartening truth. Gloria Kim had seemingly vanished into thin air, leaving no discernible trace of struggle or abduction. The initial investigative momentum, fueled by urgency and the hope of a quick resolution, slowly but inevitably ground to a halt. For Gloria's family, the passage of time brought no solace, only a deepening anguish. Each passing birthday, each holiday, each anniversary of her disappearance served as a stark, painful reminder of the void she left behind. They lived in a perpetual state of limbo, unable to grieve fully, unable to move forward without the fundamental answer of what had happened to their beloved Gloria. The questions gnawed at them. Was she alive? Was she suffering? Had she met with foul play, or had she simply chosen to disappear, an act entirely out of character for the dedicated social worker? The lack of resolution was a torment without end. Eventually, as all avenues were explored and re-explored, the case of Gloria Kim was officially designated a cold case. Her file, once a thick binder of active leads and urgent directives, was carefully placed within the archives of the Chicago Police Department, a testament to an unsolved mystery. For Detective Alvarez, however, it was never truly closed. The image of Gloria's kind, searching eyes from her missing person photograph remained etched in her mind, a silent challenge. She periodically revisited the file, hoping a fresh perspective or a newly developed forensic technique might illuminate some forgotten detail. The rational part of her understood the statistical realities of cold cases, yet a lingering, professional hope persisted. She knew that sometimes, even years later, a single, overlooked detail could emerge, a small spark capable of reigniting a dormant investigation and finally bringing answers to the unyielding questions. 7 years had passed since Gloria Kim vanished from Millennium Park. The calendar pages had turned, marking anniversaries of her disappearance with a silent, aching regularity. The city of Chicago, ever-changing, continued its relentless pace. But for Gloria's family and for Detective Tasha Alvarez, the passage of time had only deepened the chasm of the unknown. Then, in the late summer of 2019, an unexpected event began to unravel the long-held silence. It was a standard overnight cleaning operation beneath the Cloud Gate sculpture, a routine task performed by park maintenance crews during the quiet hours when the plaza was devoid of its usual throngs. The massive, reflective surface of the bean, as it was affectionately known, required constant attention to maintain its pristine, mirror-like sheen. Workers meticulously cleaned and polished, often sweeping debris from the structure's base into the surrounding drainage system. On this particular night, one attendant, systematically clearing the perimeter, noticed a small, glinting object caught on the lip of a storm drain, partially obscured by accumulated grit and leaves. He knelt, his gloved fingers carefully dislodging the item. It was a ring, small and made of gold, but noticeably scuffed and dulled by years of exposure. Its simple design suggested a wedding band, a symbol of commitment now lying forgotten in the unglamorous underbelly of a public landmark. The attendant, accustomed to finding discarded coins or small pieces of jewelry, placed it into a designated lost and found container, unaware of the profound significance of his discovery. Days later, as part of the park's protocol for valuable finds, the ring made its way to the Chicago Police Department's property division. It was a seemingly innocuous piece of metal, yet something about its worn appearance and its unusual location prompted a deeper look. A routine check against missing persons effects revealed a startling match. Engraved on the inside, though faint, were the initials GK and a date, 5/15/90. These details corresponded precisely with the wedding band Gloria Kim had been wearing at the time of her disappearance, as described by her sister and noted in the original police report. The revelation sent a jolt through the cold case unit. After 7 years of silence, a tangible link to Gloria Kim had finally surfaced, pulled from the very ground where she was last seen. The scuffed wedding band, a small circle of gold, became a beacon in the darkness, forcing a dramatic reevaluation of everything known or assumed about Gloria's vanishing act. The cold case of Gloria Kim was no longer merely a file in an archive. It was alive again, demanding answers. The discovery beneath Cloud Gate had reignited a dormant investigation, promising to peel back the layers of a mystery that had long haunted the city. Detective Tasha Alvarez, a woman whose professional life had been shadowed by Gloria Kim's disappearance for 7 long years, was now called back to the forefront. The discovery of the wedding band had resurrected the cold case, pulling her back into the unsettling void Gloria had left behind. Alvarez approached the reopened investigation with a renewed sense of purpose, tempered by the stark reality of the years that had passed. The scuffed wedding band, a small, unassuming circle of gold, became the nexus of the new inquiry. It was not merely a sentimental item. It was the first tangible piece of physical evidence directly linked to Gloria since her initial disappearance, and its examination was paramount. Forensic specialists meticulously examined the ring's surface, its inner band, and the faint traces of grit embedded in its scuffs. They hoped for any micro-residue, skin cells, or fibers that might offer a narrative of its journey. Every scratch, every speck of foreign material, was analyzed under high-powered microscopes, each a potential clue to unlock the 7-year mystery. The discovery irrevocably shifted the investigation's focus from a general missing person case to one deeply intertwined with Millennium Park itself. The iconic public space was no longer just a backdrop. It was now a potential crime scene, its intricate operations and personnel under intense scrutiny. To navigate the park's complex internal world, Detective Alvarez sought out Priyanka Bose, the facility's manager. Bose was the institutional memory of Millennium Park, possessing an encyclopedic knowledge of its maintenance schedules, staff rosters, access points, and the labyrinthine network of service tunnels and utility areas hidden beneath its pristine surfaces. Alvarez needed to understand the park's unseen mechanics, the routines of its employees, and any deviations from standard procedure that might have occurred 7 years prior. The central question now revolved around the ring's journey. How had it traveled from Gloria Kim's finger to the drain lip beneath Cloud Gate? Was it dropped accidentally by Gloria herself, implying she had been in that specific, less trafficked area of the sculpture's base? Or was it placed there deliberately or lost by someone else who had been with her? The ring, while a breakthrough, answered little about Gloria's ultimate fate. Instead, it opened a floodgate of new inquiries. The precise timing of its deposit, the specific individuals with access to that particular area during the park's overnight hours, and the unsettling possibility that someone within the park's operational structure might hold the key to the 7-year mystery. The investigation had found its new direction, burrowing deep into the very heart of the city's most famous landmark. The meticulous forensic examination of Gloria Kim's scuffed wedding band proved to be the pivotal turning point Detective Alvarez and her team had desperately sought. Under the precise scrutiny of the lab, minute traces of a foreign substance were isolated from the fine scratches and crevices on the ring's surface. It was a unique, crystalline polish residue, unlike any found in typical public environments. This discovery, seemingly insignificant to an untrained eye, was a breakthrough that would redefine the entire investigation. Forensic chemists worked tirelessly, analyzing the unique chemical signature of the residue. Their efforts led to a definitive match. The substance was identified as a specialized, industrial-grade metal polish. Crucially, this specific formula was not available commercially, nor was it used in general park maintenance. Priyanka Bose, the facility's manager, confirmed its exclusive application. It was the precise compound used only by a specialized overnight crew for the deep cleaning and polishing of the Cloud Gate sculpture itself, a task performed solely during the park's off hours, typically between midnight and dawn. The discovery drastically narrowed the time frame of the ring's likely deposit, shifting the focus intensely onto the park's overnight operations and the limited number of personnel with access during those restricted hours. Detective Alvarez immediately ordered a comprehensive review of all park staff working those specific shifts in 2012, with particular attention to those assigned to the Cloud Gate area. Modern forensic tools, unavailable 7 years prior, were now brought to bear. Investigators delved into digital archives, unearthing electronic badge pings, records of staff keycard entries and exits from various restricted zones within the park. These pings, often overlooked as mundane administrative data, became critical breadcrumbs in the cold case. One name emerged with unsettling frequency: Marcus Leone, a park attendant whose badge pings showed unusual patterns. While his official duties were generally confined to specific sectors, his electronic trail revealed repeated, unauthorized access to a little-known blind shortcut. This passage, a narrow service corridor hidden behind a maintenance access panel, bypassed public areas and led directly to a staff loading bay. From there, a discreet egress point opened onto a seldom-used lakefront service road, a route that offered an unmonitored means of entry and exit from Millennium Park, entirely circumventing public scrutiny and the park's main gates. The existence of this clandestine route, combined with Marcus Leone's suspicious movements during the precise overnight hours when the specialized polish was in use, revealed a chilling timeline and a potential conduit for Gloria Kim's disappearance. The intricate web of evidence, woven from microscopic residue and digital footprints, now pointed irrevocably toward a single individual. The specialized polish on Gloria Kim's wedding band, used exclusively during specific overnight hours, directly implicated those with access to Cloud Gate during that narrow window. Marcus Leone's badge pings, revealing his unauthorized use of the hidden service corridor leading to the lakefront service road, provided the final, chilling piece of the puzzle. It was this clandestine route, a blind spot in the park's security, that investigators now believed had been exploited to remove Gloria Kim from Millennium Park, her body likely transported unseen to an unknown location via the lakefront road. The convergence of these disparate clues allowed Detective Alvarez to construct a coherent, albeit horrifying, narrative of Gloria's final moments within the park and her subsequent disappearance. The pieces now fit with a grim precision. The sequence of events, pieced together from forensic analysis and digital records, revealed how Gloria Kim, after the memorial concert, had likely encountered her assailant. The scuffed ring, dropped or forcibly removed, had then been inadvertently swept into the drain during the very overnight cleaning shift Marcus Leone was assigned to, its polished residue an unwitting timestamp. The blind shortcut and the lakefront service road offered an escape route, a means to vanish without public notice from one of the city's most visible landmarks. The 7-year mystery of Gloria Kim's disappearance was finally, tragically, solved. The Chicago Police Department, with Detective Alvarez at the forefront, held a press conference to announce the breakthrough. After years of silence and unanswered questions, the family of Gloria Kim received the devastating, yet crucial, information about her fate. The relief of understanding what had happened was profound, a release from the agonizing limbo that had defined their lives for so long. Yet it was undeniably tempered by the enduring grief of her loss and the knowledge of the violence she had suffered. There would be no joyful reunion, only the painful truth. In the aftermath, the case prompted a thorough reevaluation of security protocols within Millennium Park. The previously overlooked service corridors were sealed, staff badge access systems were modernized, and surveillance camera coverage was significantly expanded to eliminate blind spots, particularly during overnight operations. The incident served as a stark reminder of the hidden vulnerabilities that can exist even within the most public of spaces, and the importance of continuously scrutinizing cold cases with new technological advancements. Gloria Kim, the dedicated oncology social worker, had been lost to a city for 7 years, her disappearance a haunting enigma. But through the unlikely discovery of a scuffed wedding band beneath an iconic sculpture, justice, however belated, had finally begun its slow, deliberate march. Her legacy became not just one of service, but also of an enduring mystery that ultimately exposed a hidden truth, ensuring that no other individual would vanish from Millennium Park without a trace.